Let's make some fresh corn tortillas. We've got our bowl to mix, we've got our 2 sheets of parchment paper for pressing, and of course, we've got our fancy Bell-Main tortilla press, which is cast iron, has some great weight to it, and has a great mechanism that feels nice and sturdy when you press down your dough. You can find the link to purchase one for yourself in my YouTube description or in my link tree. Grab yourself some masa or corn flour, this is linked as well. We'll also need some sea salt, that's fine to season the flour with. If you want to use a scooper, you can. I just eyeball it. Don't forget a nice cold beer too, optional. Now we're gonna add 2 cups of corn flour into a large mixing bowl, followed by about a pinch or 2 of sea salt, your preference. Mix these together, just a little bit, use your hand or a stir or whatever. Then we're gonna follow it up with very warm water, almost hot to the touch. I'll use about a cup and a half or so, but it's important that we eyeball this mixture so you get the dough together just right. It is important to get the right consistency when making this dough. Too wet won't yield a good tortilla. It's gonna make it all stick together when you try to press it, which sucks. Or too dry is gonna cause them to break apart, which sucks even more. So you gotta really get it correct. Super important to knead this dough really well, about 3 minutes at least. This breaks up everything needed to make sure your tortilla has that nice puff when you cook it. If you don't get the puff, don't get too down on yourself, you can still eat it, but it means you're doing something a little wrong. This dough is basically our childhood dream because it's softer than Play-Doh and you can actually eat it. So think Play-Doh when you're feeling it in your hands. Roll it nice into a shapely ball of goodness. Then we're gonna cover it with a damp towel for at least 30 minutes. Then snap your fingers, presto magico tortillo. Your fingerprint should leave a mark. Scoop about a golf ball sized piece of dough for 5 to 6 inch tortillas. Then place on a piece of parchment paper or plastic and tuck it in with another piece of plastic or parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the cast iron. Make sure to press nice and lightly so it's not impossible to peel off that paper. If you press it too hard, it's going to get so thin and then you're not going to be able to peel it off at all, and it's going to be a whole mess. Not even worth doing it. You're going to kick yourself in the ass. Check it for thickness and size. I'm going to spin mine and press it a little more so it's a tiny bit bigger for my breakfast tacos. By the way, stick around for the end of the video to see those. They're super bomb. These should peel off the paper no problem. If too sticky, then add more flour to your dough. Throw the tortilla onto a medium hot pan or griddle. I think cast iron works the best. Then we're gonna flip it after about 30 or 40 seconds or so. The edges should be nice and dry by now. After another minute or so, pat it down to help it poof a little better. Then flip it again and pat it just a little bit more. Hopefully it'll puff up nicely for you. If it doesn't puff, you might not have kneaded the dough enough, or maybe your water was too cold or too warm, or you didn't let it sit long enough after mixing, or your pan heat is too low or too high. Basically, long story short, practice makes perfect. If you're having trouble with it, throw it in the comments below and let's try to troubleshoot it together, you know? Now, my absolute favorite part of the whole process. Let's toss our nice fresh cooked tortilla into our damp towel with the others, which is going to keep them nice and warm and retain that moisture they so much need. Tuck them in, put them in a container, whatever you want, pat them, and they're going to be good in a few minutes. I'll never turn down an egg taco, to be honest. They're pretty much my favorite taco. Nothing beats a nice egg taco on a Sunday morning, you know? So let's crack a couple eggs into our heated and greased pan. Funny story on my ship. I knew about 200 people's egg orders, how they liked them. Over medium, hard, in the middle, or slightly towards one way or the other. Always thought it was kind of weird, to be honest. Anyways, let's toss our eggs on the tortillas, followed by some chopped onions if that's your thing. I love onions, I could eat them every single day. Then we're gonna follow up with some diced avocado too. Delicious, same thing, every day, why not? Then we're going to follow up with hot sauce, another everyday item. If you enjoyed this episode of Hellman's Kitchen Cooking School, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notifications, please. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.